A very warm welcome, Sharon and Debbie. I think I'm so grateful to get in touch with you, with your organization, because we have been following your organization's work for a long time now. And we have been partners for a significant time now. And we really appreciate the work that you have been doing. And that is why we eagerly wanted to connect with your organization for this campaign on International Day of Social Justice, and wanted to understand more about the challenge we are facing here. So first, I would like you to introduce yourselves and your organization. So please go ahead.
So first of all, thank you for having us. It's a great privilege to be a part of this. So I'll introduce myself and I'll talk about the Paamonim a little, and then we'll carry on from there. My name is Sharon Levin. I'm Director of Communications and Public Affairs with Paamonim, an organization I have the greatest privilege to be a part of. I'll start with a famous quote: give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. This, in a nutshell, is the ideology of Paamonim. Paamonim is an Israeli volunteer-based non-for-profit, and since its inception in 2002, we have been impacting society by providing financial education and guidance, thereby creating a healthier, sustainable financial future for more and more families and individuals in Israel. We deliver our services with equality, justice, and fairness, and our sole purpose is to inclusively serve families and individuals, leading them towards a safer and calmer place in their lives. Their prosperity is our accomplishment. Our services include a wide range of bespoke financial educational solutions available to the general public through targeted economic recovery and preventive programs. Legacy programs include free one-on-one coaching lasting between 6 and 10 months, courses, workshops, seminars, and lectures delivered by approximately 3,000 volunteers nationwide. We also offer knowledge-based through our self-learning tools available for download on our website. Paamonim also partners with local communities, and through our guidance, we are able to qualify community leaders and volunteers to become change makers, ensuring the formation of a sustainable structure for the future of local communities nationwide in Israel. Furthermore, we recently launched a research department in the field of financial education. In addition to our core activities, we run unique programs in conjunction with governmental agencies as well as other NGOs. These programs are designed for sections of the population requiring a holistic and deeper approach, mostly targeted for complex populations, such as welfare families, immigrants in crisis, families on the brink of bankruptcy, women in shelters who were victims of domestic violence, general public with criminal backgrounds, participating in a governmental recovery program, divorcees, youth at risk, etc., etc. Due to the complexity of these segments, program duration is typically longer and includes significantly more than just exploring the financial aspect. We realize that complex families require a different approach, and the procedures require comprehensive acquaintance as well as extended interactions with the families, given that many often lack motivation to go through a process of change. These are usually less structured, less aware of their financial situation, live off a far lower income and/or allowances, and the percentage of those in debt is relatively high. Many of the families are unaware of their legal and financial entitlements and are often labeled as problematic clients. They are regularly denied bank loans, receive extremely high interest rates, and consequently are more inclined to take high risk or even gray market loans. I'll say a couple of words about COVID. Throughout the challenging period of social distancing, our volunteers and educators professionally acquired the necessary skills, allowing them to align our services remotely through digital platforms, thus maintaining our commitments and ability to support programs and services. So our mission statement is this: it's a reality in which Israeli households lead financially balanced lives with dignity, integrity, and responsibility, a reality that forms financial and social resilience in Israel. We have over 200 employees. Most of them are in governmental programs, which are operated by Paamonim, and we have, like I said, close to 3,000 professionally qualified volunteers. Our annual impact on these households is great. We take them through a process, like I said, between 6 and 10 months on average, and the monthly savings of these families is just over $1,000. It's like $1,200 per month. So you can only imagine the savings that they make annually. We have over 18,000 participants in our courses and our seminars nationwide. We also have over 400,000 unique entries to Paamonim's website. What we do actually with the families is we take them on a process of 5 steps. The first step is we give them, we try and get them to, we actually give them, and they do an intake of their expenses and their income. They do an intake, and we map out all the expenses, the income, the debts, and all their assets. And then we plan and define goals with the families. We budget, we help them budget their own budget for their own family, and we also help them manage and handle their debts. And at the end of the process, we help them plan their future. I'll give a few examples of programs run by Paamonim in conjunction with the governmental agencies. The first and foremost one is a program called Noshmim Lirvacha, which means families first. And this program is to help impoverished families. This is a combined flagship program of the Israeli Ministry of Employment, the Welfare and Social Services, the Joint, and the Rashi Foundation. Another program is for immigrants called Beneficial Absorption, and is run in conjunction with the Ministry of Immigration and Absorption, and helps immigrants to Israel deal with the challenges of acclimatizing in Israel. Apparent difficulties include handling Israeli bureaucracy, knowing and utilizing social and financial privileges, integration of children into educational frameworks, finding work in one's profession, integrating into workplaces, dealing with financial difficulties evident throughout the immigration process. These difficulties, combined with the absence of socio-cultural circles and systems of support, are likely to significantly indent financial behaviors of new-coming families to Israel. Yet another program is called Ya'adim, which means goals in English. This program was formed after recognizing a tangible need to provide a broad and holistic solution for exceptionally complex families facing difficulties that go beyond the financial matters, identified as family-related and/or career-related obstacles. A third program is called Tachlis, which is for youth at risk. In partnership with the Israeli Educational Ministry and the Ministry of Social Services, Paamonim operates workshops for youth at risk aged 16 to 24, living in various hostels, homes, youth shelters, and other institutions for youth at risk across Israel. Our workshops combine both group sessions and private one-on-one sessions that provide the youth the knowledge and tools they need to ensure their financially stable future. In addition, Paamonim trains the professional staff at their homes, equipping them with fundamental money management skills, enabling them to guide youth on the topic following completion of the workshops. Another program is for people before they retire, which is called Preparation for Retirement. And this program is in partnership with the Office of Equal Opportunity and the National Social Security Foundation, providing workshops prior to retirement for the wider public. So this is what we do, and we have, do we stop here for a moment?
Yeah, sure. I think you don't have to be very conscious about this interview. Since it is getting recorded, we can always edit out the redundant parts. And thank you so much for sharing so thorough information about your organization. I think you covered all my questions related to Paamonim that I was about to ask, but
okay.
I think we can take the answers to all those questions from your current, what you just shared with us, all the insights. So now I would like to talk something about the issue here as well. So from like the most basic question would be, please tell us what exactly is the concept of social justice, because from where I see it, it is a collaboration of a lot of micro issues, I would say, and which makes a macro issue called social justice. But people very rarely use the term social justice and view it holistically. They are mainly addressing one issue at a time. But I would like to understand your perspective and your purview towards social justice.
Okay. Social justice is ultimately a belief in fairness and equality within societies, and applies to fairness in terms of wealth, opportunities, basic needs, and far more. Every living person deserves the right to basic needs such as food, shelter, clean water. In today's world, a basic understanding of money is classed as essential to succeed in life. The need to help the less fortunate, equipping them with the knowledge and tools to become equal players across society is at the core of Paamonim's existence, and we are committed to improving the world that we live in. So whilst Paamonim commenced its journey over 20 years ago by supporting those less fortunate in their local communities, the three founders of Paamonim soon recognized that by helping people with short-term solutions to their financial problems, they were possibly increasing dependency on charity services and not helping them take control of their lives by solving their problems in the long run. Many NGOs and emergency funds help reduce the cycle of poverty by providing impartial short-term relief without empowering families to make changes for the future. We at Paamonim realize that those facing financial challenges require far more than short-term aid, and therefore structured our services to teach everyone reaching out to us life-changing skills for a better future. When we lack the know-how and keep ourselves in the darkness in relation to our money, we have minimal autonomy or control over our financials. In cultures where discussing money is considered a taboo, we hide from our own difficulties and hush our mistakes. Financial education is a multi-generational tool for personal care and social justice. Teaching and spreading knowledge concerning all aspects of money is a critical act with the potential to transform lives, communities, and nations. Our assistance is developed by training volunteers to become change makers, to then spread the acquired knowledges on to others. So this structure guarantees two key achievements. The first one, our rigorously trained and selected volunteers learn our methodology and tools and consequently obtain a wealth of self-knowledge. Their learning impacts their own circle of family, friends, and co-workers. As a social organization, Paamonim has found a way to gather countless people from diverse backgrounds in order to help others. Our volunteers and employees learn from their experience, and with the provided tools, they repay society by means of information and experiences, allowing many others to learn from them. The second achievement is that the volunteers coach and guide families on how to enhance their financial circumstances, how to improve their employment affairs, their social, legal entitlements, and how to exercise social rights and benefits. It's not just the vulnerable families that reach out for us to support. It's also middle-class families, and we assist them to realize opportunities that may not have necessarily been known, or perhaps had not even been set as personal goals with an intent to achieve.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing all that. And also here, I would like to understand that what are those exact programs, financial programs that you conduct with the volunteers and with your beneficiaries, trying to bring a change in their lives and in their financial relationships with their money?
So I mentioned a few of the programs before. Our volunteers go on have extended training as to how to do this. We teach them the 5 steps of how to conduct your money well, and we help them help others. We have volunteers who help volunteers, and we have our staff, our employees, who give them all the help and support that they need so that they can actually achieve our mission statement.
Great. Also, I would like to understand from you again, like what should we consider as the fundamental pillars of social justice, basically, like as you also said, and like where I also come from, we have already discussed that social justice is a holistic issue which comprises of some little micro issues that combine to make up the big one. But here I would like to understand the basic fundamental pillars of social justice that ensure that society is just and we have achieved social justice.
So the core values in what we do and what Paamonim does, we address a few core fundamentals. The first one is access to resources. In the field of financial education and support covered by Paamonim, we ensure that everyone has the knowledge to make better financial decisions. We offer many avenues of access, from free financial counseling, ample educational materials, online and offline courses, active chat box for questions on our website, downloadable spreadsheets to manage one's financial balance, and community programs and many more things. So access to resources is the first thing. Equality. When we're talking about equality, social justice is also about securing one's financial stability. Equality doesn't mean that all people should have lots of money, but it should allow everyone to live within their means, meet their basic needs, and live without fear that one slip up could leave them without housing, leave them on the street. It also improves educational opportunities for youngsters, young adults. The third core fundamental is education. Education protects people and ensures everyone gets adequate opportunities in life. It is vital to end or to reduce cycles of poverty and allows everyone the opportunity to achieve their dreams. Nevertheless, many people are incapable of obtaining sufficient education simply because of discrimination on their places of living. Social justice advocates for everyone to have the ability to learn by providing a safe place for equal opportunities. It provides protection for people with distinctive needs from gender-based and sexual-based discriminations and more. Society as a whole benefits when everyone is educated. Another core fundamental is about participation. Society must allow everyone to voice their concerns and take part in making decisions. If something affects a person's life, that person needs to be a part of the process. This is where the change makers come in to further spread the knowledge that we endorse.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think you very well broke down each and every aspect of social justice and made it the fundamental pillars of those. So I think that was a great answer to that. And
we have another two. We have another two, I think.
I think definitely you can share it. Yes.
Okay, so the last two are partnerships. In alignment with the SDG number 17, partnerships bring together networks with agendas that are similar to Paamonim to collaborate and to further explore how to reduce inequalities and make Israel a better place. To strengthen partnerships, we all have to take action and goals that can only be adequately met if we work together. Paamonim is skilled at formulating and maintaining relationships through work with public services, community organizations, and academics, which requires a balance between interpersonal and administrative resources. Our reputation amongst clients, partners, and governmental agencies is one that exceeds expectations. And the last core fundamental is about volunteering. Paamonim is a social organization with over 2,771 volunteers who provide over 500,000 voluntary hours each year. We believe that this distribution of responsibilities contributes to the strength of the social and economic fabric and its ability to tolerate present and future challenges. The principle of volunteering stimulates development of mutual duties between individuals within the community. So these principles, as well ensuring inclusiveness and diversity, are all implied for Paamonim employees.
I think that's so true, and I think you have made Paamonim synonymous actually to social justice. I can very well understand that from whatever you are saying. So I think that's a great pitch for your organization as well, and I think a great word for your organization. So thank you so much for putting that up. And I would like to take a cue from your previous answer only. You said that you have more than 2,700 volunteers all across the world, and you are
all across Israel.
All across Israel. I'm so sorry about that. All across Israel, and you're trying to make it a better place to live, and a better place to actually be called a place for social justice. So I would like to understand from you, like let's say if a person who has actually the right intention to support your organization, and someone, let's say like me, who wants to connect virtually from a completely different part of the world and wants to come up and volunteer for your organization, what are the different ways that a person can come up and volunteer?
We have volunteers actually from all over the world. Most of our volunteers, like I said, are in Israel, but since COVID and since people relocate to places all around the world, we have volunteers who relocated and live in Frankfurt, in London, in New Jersey, in California, really all around the world, Australia. So because we do things online, we can train our volunteers online, and we can give workshops and courses and give our one-on-one counseling online through Zoom, through Skype, on whatever platform. So it's, in this day and age, it's very easy. If someone wants to come and volunteer, they have to go onto our website and fill out a form, and they have to go through our basic training. Each volunteer has to go through a basic training so that they can actually volunteer. But after that, it doesn't really matter where they live all around the world. And if people want to contribute to us financially, they are more than welcome, obviously.
Yes, definitely. I think that's great. Also, like we have already discussed, that awareness about this particular term called social justice is quite low in our society. Like, we address other issues, but not social justice. So there must be a lot of myths around this term called social justice. A lot of myths, a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings about what does it stand for. So I would like you to take this platform to bust some of those myths, some of those misconceptions and misunderstandings about this concept and this term here, that you want more and more people to know about what exactly social justice is. So some such misconceptions, prejudices, misunderstandings among the society that you want to bust.
Well, our mission is to create a reality in which Israeli households have the knowledge to lead financially balanced lives, like I said, with dignity, integrity, and responsibility, and form financial and social resilience throughout Israel. We actually dream of a financially literate society in Israel, and the knowledge necessary to use money and to make straightforward financial decisions. The common thread of our doing is a commitment to inclusive, sustainable financial growth focused on the well-being of all Israeli citizens. So we are truly committed to confronting the problems of the day with sustainable solutions by helping people already facing crisis and by helping others prevent future financial catastrophe. Because we feel that financial literacy opens doors to opportunities in life, and the increasing importance of securing a financially resilient society in Israel is what drives Paamonim in its mission. Financial empowerment helps people set financial goals by creating and implementing a feasible plan based on their means, allowing them to maintain a strategy to manage the day-to-day as well as unplanned financial challenges. Like I said before, it's not about how much money one has, it's more about how to handle the money one has. And we do this through a framework for practical financial understanding offered to the entire population of Israel from all ages and all walks of life. So basically all our services are all inclusive, and we want to give our services to all the population, diverse as it is, and in Israel we really have a diverse population. So we can actually help through our one-on-one financial counseling, through our courses and seminars and programs and lectures, either to specific age groups or to participants with collective needs. Our exclusive programs all include supporting impoverished households. Like I said, with our programs, youth at risk and single women. So we really try and help as many people with diverse backgrounds as we can, with even training change makers from within the Arab sector. So we really try and help as many people as we can, because handling money, it doesn't matter what background you're from. We all have to deal with it, and we all have to manage our money well.
Definitely, I think that is so true. Yeah,
and we also engage with industry experts, offering specific support such as exercising social rights, topics like mortgages, loans, careers, legal advice, employment, pensions, small businesses. Everything, all these topics have to do with money, and we have experts who help us and help the families give really specific support on these topics.
That's really great. I think, Sharon. So I think those are all my questions. I think you so wholesomely answered each and every question of mine that it actually answered a couple of more questions as well. So thank you so much for doing that. I think it was an amazing discussion and such an insightful discussion, I would say, because you stuck to the facts and the correct figures, and that was something that I really appreciate about this discussion. It has been so insightful and so enriching for me personally as well, because I got to know more about Israel and more about the concept of overall social justice, thanks to you again. Also, before ending this amazing discussion, I have one more request from you. So I will ask you to share a message for all those potential volunteers who would be willing to contribute their time and their efforts, telling them that how their bare minimum contribution can create such a huge impact in the lives of your beneficiaries and your organization as well. So a message for all those potential volunteers.
I think the message is the quote that I started with, that I opened the discussion with, and that is, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. I think that motto is really the ideology of Paamonim, and I think if everyone learns to live within their means together with this ideology, I think that's the message that we send out there.
Thank you so much. That's an amazing message, at least for the volunteers. And thank you so much for sharing all those great information. Thank you so much, Debbie. And I'm so sorry, Debbie, I couldn't get back to you. Please let me know if you have something to share with us, and how did you like this interaction, and if you have something to add to whatever Sharon said or whatever my questions were. Debbie.
Yeah, I've just got one more thing to share or to add for the potential volunteers that may be listening to this. Well, since we focus on financial and ensuring that everybody in Israel has financial literacy, and as Sharon said, is able to live within their means, we also, as I said, because we focus on the Israeli society, people that work with us need to understand the regulations here, so they also need to understand the background. However, we do also need volunteers to help us create awareness and help us with our marketing and with sharing our messages throughout the world. You know, we as also Sharon mentioned, partnerships is one of our key pillars, and we'll partner with anybody that either does similar to us or that sees it as a key value of theirs. So other volunteers, as well as the volunteers that we train to become financial counsellors. As I didn't introduce myself, but I head up resource development for the global market as well as inside Israel, and so I do reach out to people globally, and we'd like people to know that, first of all, working with Paamonim and sharing what we do is extremely rewarding. It's so meaningful. And anybody that works from us, most people have been with us for many years. It's not a short time. I mean, obviously there are people that do help on projects, but most of the people that are with us have been with us for many, many years, because it's just so meaningful.